welcome. I wanted to go over Jay Shetty's website. It's an excellent author website. And I want to point out what the features are so that you can take inspiration from his site and try to incorporate some of the benefits on Jay Shetty's site into your own author website. By way of introduction, my name is Anne. I write blog posts and create YouTube videos about author websites, how to build a great author website, examples of great author websites, things you should know when you're thinking about building an author website. So if you want more content about author websites, please like this video, leave a comment below, and subscribe to this channel. Okay, let's get started. Alright, so as soon as we land on Jay Shetty's website, you'll see that there are pop-ups. There's two pop-ups. Here, there's take my new quiz to discover your deeper purpose. And here again, it's the same one. Take my new quiz to get a workshop and affirmation just for you. So the purpose of both of these are called lead magnets. These are freebies that the author is using to try and give you something in return for your email address. And why is that? It's because your email address is the best way for Jay to sell you his books, his services, his content. So he wants you on his email list so that he can send you emails and you can purchase his books and his services and his other content that he puts out. So alright, so we close out of these two pop-ups. So then when you're on the site and you land, the first thing you see in his background is videos. You see Jay on Oprah. You see him on other channels, Red Table. You see here with Oprah on the Today Show. These are all ways for Jay to build his credibility. Not only do you get to know him and his work, but you get to see videos and you get to see him with famous people that you already know, like Oprah and the Today Show and Ellen. So that's why this background is really interesting. Okay, and let's take a moment to look at his navigation bar. Here, there's an about, there's podcasts, there's courses, there's his become a coach, there's the quizzes. Again, this call to action is to take the quiz. Get you on his email list. That's the number one thing he wants from this website. He wants you on his email list. Here's another call out for that quiz. Again, to get you on his email list. So if you're an author, what does this mean for you? It means that you should have the call to action to be to join your newsletter. That's what you want someone to do. There should be multiple reasons and multiple ways for someone to join your newsletter, just like Jay Shetty is doing. Alright, so now we go down here. Again, call out to join his newsletter. Again, take the quiz, join his newsletter. So we've seen this multiple times, so more than 5 times. So that's twice there. When the pop-ups here, it's here, it's here, it's here, it's here. These are all multiple ways he's asking you to join his email list. Alright, here's how Jay can help. Great. So now you're seeing multiple ways that you can benefit from Jay's work. So you can get coaching from him. You can join his courses. You can join his read his book. You can listen to his podcast. He can come and be a speaker for your organization. So this is what it means to be a modern day author. He does all of these things. And this is what the entire career encapsulates, doing all of these things. So if this excites you, then yeah, you're definitely on the right track. But if you're like, I don't really want to do all this, then maybe this isn't the path you want to be on, because it's a lot of work. It is a lot of content creation. It's a lot of being out there. It's a lot of putting your face out there. Look at Jay. Look at here on his coaching, on his book, on his podcast, on his speaking. This is a lot of you getting out there in front of your audience. Alright, here there's what we call the credibility bar. There's lots of logos from different organizations where Jay's work has been featured. So it's very, very important. Builds credibility with this logo bar. And wow, they're changing. And so that's even more impressive. There's there's many more. Alright, here again, these are the podcast guests. So Jay is a very successful podcast. He has Jennifer Lopez, he has Alicia Keys, Will Smith, Oprah Winfrey. So these are all people that you all know and recognize. Gives him a ton of credibility to make sure that they're on his podcast, and this info is on his website. Okay, let's scroll down. Great, this is a little bit more about Jay. Okay, so then once you get all that information about Jay, what's he about, what does he do, who are his people on his podcast, and you get info about him living as a monk. So this is all of this stuff about how he found his purpose. Alright, great. Here, there's 2 million students. So why does he mention 2 million students? He mentions 2 million students again because this is a fact that's going to give him a lot of credibility. That you know that his work is reaching a lot of people. So that's why this 2 million students is really important. All of the things on this website is meant to establish his credibility. One, with the 2 million students, with his podcast, with his all the famous people on his podcast, with his with his landing page that shows that he was on the Ellen Show, the Oprah Winfrey Show. All these are multiple ways that Jay builds his credibility. Here again with the logo bar, so he builds credibility with these photos and videos with famous people, with the logo bar. Here, here on the featured podcast guest, and then again here 2 million students have taken his online courses. All right, so that's what this is. And this is kind of cute. Like, he put his book next to Einstein by Walter Isaacson and Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman, because this is a crowd that Jay is attracting. He knows that if you're reading Think Like a Monk, you're probably also reading these books as well. And so he really knows his audience. He knows what they're looking for. Again, take his quiz. Here, take his quiz, just like Gretchen Rubin. And again, this is the calls to action. Now, this is something that's really interesting. Jay has a ton of followers on Instagram. I believe he has like 1 million followers on Instagram. But notice that his Instagram is not in the navigation bar. That's because he wants you to go from his Instagram to his website and then ultimately to his newsletter. That's how you sell books. You sell them in your newsletter. So even though Jay has 1 million followers on Instagram, that's not where that's not something that he's prominently advertising. He's really advertising his newsletter all over his website, because you're supposed to get people to go from your social media to your website and then finally to your newsletter. So that's why all of his social media icons are at the bottom and they're not in the top navigation bar. And this is really important because Jay has a huge social media following. So the fact that it's not in the his call out to his Instagram is not in the navigation bar indicates that he's making a lot more money from having people on his email list than he is from having people on his social media account. So just something to think of when you're trying to figure out like where to prioritize your time and efforts online. Okay, that's it. That is a short summary of Jay Shetty's author website. The full blog post for this that goes along with this review will also be linked in the show notes. So take a look, read it over as you try and build your own author website. You can always send me questions at ann@powerhouse-strategy.com. That's ann@powerhouse-strategy.com. And if you want more content like this about author websites, then please like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to this channel. Thanks. Have a great day.